Enough of the code switching, been hitting my soul, been on the ropes, I'm ready to grow, so get to know me. Keep your head up, I want you to grow with me. See this gold on me, want you to glow with me. Yeah, alright, okay, we get it.
So, yesterday morning, we lost a hip hop artist by the name of Takeoff. For those who do not know who Takeoff was one of the members of the rap trio by the name of Migos. Migos is a group of three guys who happen to be related.
Yes, I think
Takeoff
Quavo's
was the
nephew.
uncle.
Yes.
Then Takeoff and Offset were cousins.
Okay.
However, not too long ago, the group kind of had a splitting moment. I don't know the ins and out of why they split, but basically Offset kind of went his own separate ways, and they had a little beef. And so Quavo and Takeoff were kind of doing their thing. Had just dropped an album, last month or the month before last?
I think so.
I think they dropped an album in September. And so, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Offset had just dropped the song Friday. Not Offset, but Takeoff.
I think it was like featured.
He was just featured in the song. I think it was "Stop Breathing." All I know is his last post was a story on Instagram where the song was "Stop Breathing." And so on Tuesday morning, early in the morning, they were in Houston. Quavo was playing dice with some dudes, and an argument broke out over basketball. Like, I wish I was telling you a lie right now, and this was a joke.
No, I mean, I can carry on. Continue.
I wish this was a joke. That they were arguing about basketball, but here we are, and I listened to the audio prior to the shooting, and they are arguing about basketball. At that moment, I just was over it. Of all the things to really get worked up over, you are ready to throw hands and bust shots over playing basketball. And now I've seen a lot of conversations going around when it comes to just the culture in itself. How do I go about this? When does it stop? My son has a movement that he has. It says "Stop Black Death." No, he said "Boycott Black Death." I think it was.
Yeah, I saw it. Boycott Black Death.
And I 100% agree with that. It doesn't matter who is at the end of the causing of this Black Death. A Black life being taken away at such a young age, because Takeoff was younger than us.
Yes, he was.
I'm 29 now. You turn 29 tomorrow.
28 tomorrow.
Oh, never mind. He's older than you. So you turn 28 tomorrow. I'm 29.
Yep.
That is insane that we are losing so many of our artists in their 20s and even 30s. Not to mention and it's already weird enough that November you have so many artists that have been. Yes, I'm old, Tashira. Thank you. So many artists, especially rappers, that have been taken away from us in this month.
Can we address the elephant in the room, though? Or you still got more?
Just go ahead.
All right, so the elephant in the room around this whole thing, and I don't mean to
go ahead.
I don't mean to brush this off, because that's not how I want this to come out and sound. But we have this conversation every time we lose another artist, especially artists in the world of hip hop, rap, whatever you want to call it. The conversation is, well, when does it stop? When the conversation needs to be had is, what are we doing? Why are they? Why are they still associating themselves in these situations? And I'm not sure. I'm sure it's not them, so to speak. You know what I mean? Maybe it's the people around them. But I know that if I'm in a situation where I can elevate myself to another echelon, I know I'm not taking everybody with me. Because I know if I hang around certain people, so that if I bring certain people up with me, I'm going to find myself in a situation such as this, maybe similar. So, to quote what my dad said, am I wrong?
No, you're right.
So my dad said this yesterday. He said, and it made so much sense. He says, you can take the boy out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the boy. Or in this case, you can take the hood, you can take the kid out of the hood, but you can't take the hood out of the kid, which is a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame. Because of that latter part, because we can't do the latter as a community, we have moments like this. What are you doing? Who argues over basketball? What is there to really argue about in basketball?
My issue is, why are you arguing about basketball as adults?
Forget the adults part. What topic? What topic is there in the sport of basketball that is that serious, where somebody gotta die? And here's the thing. I'm not trying to say what happened or trying to take the air out of what happened. That's not what I'm doing. But I am also thinking about the multiple tweets I saw where it says, don't turn this into think pieces. We really, as a community, we really need to address situations like this. What are we doing? What are you doing? What are you doing at a bowling alley playing dice? Arguing over basketball. What are you doing in an airport with a bunch of illegal drugs?
You have to ask questions, because at a certain point, we got to start putting the eye on these people and then showing this to our children that, hey, things that you're seeing from these people are not how to be acting.
It's not. And here's the thing. Now, here's my thing. I don't listen to these people because, for one, I'm not going to listen, or I'm not going to invest my time, because they don't really need my money. I'm not going to invest my time in artists when it comes to music. I'm not going to invest my time in artists I don't share similar values with.
Right.
First of all, actually, before that, I'm not going to invest my time into you as an artist if I don't like your music. If I don't think your music is good.
Facts.
I'm not. I'm very picky about my music. But what is one thing? But in regards to the people I listen to, what is one thing that you know about them. They have substance. Black Thought, Killer Mike, Eminem.
And you know, I've been telling you for months now that I've been kind of slowly getting out of listening to a lot of rap. That's part of why.
But
because what I'm starting to understand is, and no, this isn't that talking point that I received when I was in high school, saying that all these rappers talk about is the things that you hear a lot now, especially when it comes to like drill rap. No, that's not my talking point, but it's gotten to a point where that's what's being pushed so heavily, and I can't rock with it, especially when I see what happens and how it's affecting our children and just the culture itself. We've been up here on multiple occasions, and you've heard me talk about what I think about when it comes to music.
Yes, you have a high respect for it than I do, because you're a musician yourself.
I'm a musician, I understand, and from my own doctrine, I know who was that person in heaven that ran music until he was kicked out. And right. So from what I know, it would make sense that he'd be the one behind all this stuff and how this music industry has been pushing this horrible out of our culture that I feel like should be abolished at every single step of the way.
Well, it's
there's like, no reason I'm going to sit here and be in favor of watching Pookie go out there and off Ray. We just had to sit here and look at an article where somebody that we went to middle school with is gone.
Yes, she is gone, unfortunately.
And at a certain point, it's got to be a consensus issue. The same energy we put to police officers and white men or whoever else coming in and doing us this way, you got to put the same energy towards us.
Is what do we just see in those videos that we played that I watched beforehand? And one of the ones I saw from Dr. Umar, and you can laugh and joke about Dr. Umar all the time, but that dude in those videos I watched, he was speaking nothing but facts. One of the things he said and made sense to me was like, he said a bunch of stuff that made sense. One of the things that I liked what he said, and I told you, was that a lot of it is the lack of empathy, because there's no empathy out there because they haven't had empathy shown towards them. You know,
I think I know my lag is happening. I'm to.
You know what I mean? They say, hurt people. He even said this: hurt people, which they do. Another thing he said in those videos was that, that hard outer shell you see is just a mask for all this inner turmoil. And then these are his words. He said once they saw when he was counseling, once he saw that that he wasn't scared, then they could actually talk.
Yeah.
But the one thing that stood out was that, and I know we laugh about it, he said some of us are gonna have to put
the sleep for good.
Yeah. And as bad as that sounds, it's like,
and now I don't personally wouldn't go to that extreme, but some of us just gotta miss the bus.
Yes, we do. Some of us
I'm not going to say that these people are going to have to be put to sleep for good in the same vein he said it, but some of us are just got to get left behind.
Yeah, because he said there's like 90. It's a 90. He put it like a 90-10. 90%. You can get 90% of 90% of them. The other 10%, you either got to leave them behind or you can try. But if you can't get them, you're gonna have to leave them.
Yeah,
That's just how it is. That's how it's going to have to be.
And the words of Trent Williams, that's all it is, and that's all it's going to be.
This is getting old, though. Like, it's getting old.
It is.
I say this because
we're talking about.
I say this because it's not even just about it. It's not even just the violence. Here's the thing: it's not even just the violence. I referenced earlier. I don't know if you caught it, but they said having illegal drugs in the airport. That's what happened to Juice WRLD.
Juice WRLD.
So,
we have this conversation every time this happens. We had it. What was it like a month or so ago when PNB Rock died? We had it again back in August. We've had it at least once a month so far. August was when Jada Young died. Last month, between September, October, I think it was September, PNB Rock died.
Yeah.
The first of, and here we are, the 1st of November. Now we've lost Takeoff.
And then what is the main take
Takeoff
always
wasn't
been?
even doing anything is the crazy part. Takeoff was back chilling.
I'm saying, what is my take around
somebody
this always
else's
been?
petty argument cost his life.
But what has my take always been? And what was my take just now? I said it a couple minutes ago. When you hit it, when you find yourself in the upper echelon, I wish people could understand this. And maybe it's because I don't have a big enough platform that this doesn't hit. When you reach the upper echelon, right? When you reach a certain tax bracket, and you come from a certain place, not saying you got to leave it all behind, not saying you got to leave it all behind, but you can't bring everybody with you. You can't. You just can't. You just can't do it. Take like one, maybe two. Just my advice. One, maybe two. You can't bring all them boys you grew up with on the corner. You can't do that. It's just not possible. It's not healthy. You're not going to be able to sustain that way. Not in the way you want.
Even then, you can't continue to try to live the life that you were living before you made it.
That's what I was saying yesterday. Like I said, you can take the country, take the hood out of the kid, but you can't take the kid out of it, but can't take the hood out of the kid. It's like, but you can't make so if you still want to be hood,
because look at Snoop.
But I'm saying, I know some of them, like I said, it's 90-10. 90%.
Like Snoop Dogg, Jay-Z. Do you think these dudes still doing the same thing they were doing before they got hot?
Okay, in this sense, it's maybe, I'm going to say 80-20.
But my issue is there's no excuse for anybody at this point because the blueprint has been put in your face.
And it's multiple blueprints.
Everything has been done except for being slapped in your face.
It's
the blueprint was not slapped in your face. It's right there. You have so many artists that have found their way coming from the gutter.
Nothing.
Have made the come up, and you still don't get it.
I can name you 5 right now. Would you like to hear?
Shoot.
Killer Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Dre.
Right.
I'm not even going to use the ones. I'm not even going to use the random ones. Like I said, Killer Mike, Dre. That's the only big one I'm going to get. Andre 3000. Diddy. And Reverend.
And the thing is,
am I wrong?
I don't understand why you want to continue in there in that lifestyle when you've made it.
Right, because that's what gets me.
From what I understand, the goal is to get out.
Yes, you can't make music about getting out and then stay.
So it's like if I'm trying to get out of a burning house, why would I go back into the burning house just to burn myself and die?
Here's the thing. I don't want it to get
glorifying a lifestyle that people that are living that lifestyle don't want to be in, and you're giving these kids the idea that this is the lifestyle to live, and that's not cool.
No, you're giving them the idea that, oh, this life, if I continue living this lifestyle, it'll work out for me like it worked out for them. It don't work out the same for everybody. Just because what's that saying? Was good for, how's that saying go? Never mind, I can't think of it. But it's like, you know what I'm trying to say. It's good for one person, isn't good for everybody else.
Yeah.
It's just not. It's not. It's just how it is. You know, and I used to think before, you know, like people, like the generation under us, they just want things so fast. And it's like, no, it takes time. You know, it takes time. The only thing I want sped up is maybe a revolution. But Iran's working on that revolution already. But we ain't talking about that right now. But in all seriousness, no. Prayers up for Iran in the middle of the revolution. They're trying to overthrow a very, very oppressive regime that like there's not a day go by when I get on TikTok and the youth of Iran are like saying, basically telling their government we're not having it anymore, which I am all for. So just want to get that out there.
But yeah, man, it's just
it's getting old.
I'm tired of talking about it.
Yeah.
And all this happening is we will sit here and be sad about it.
Yeah.
And the same talking points. You have your conspiracy theories, you have all this other stuff, and then in 3 weeks, it's
you
like
think pieces.
It's you forget about it into the next one. And here's the thing. It shouldn't even have to be a well-known individual for these conversations to continue to keep going.
No, it doesn't.
Like I just brought up in Portsmouth, one of our classmates.
That's weird.
It almost feels like somebody is being basically taken in Portsmouth at least twice a week. Sometimes more than that. We're not Chicago or like Philadelphia or anything like that, but Lord, is bad.
That's why I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news. I can't watch the news.
I'd rather read.
Yeah, I'd rather like keep myself in this. I'd rather do anything but watch the news because I know what I'm gonna see when I get on there, and I'm
it's like the first story is usually breaking
every
news
time
in Portsmouth, in Norfolk, in Newport News,
in Hampton, Virginia Beach, in
everywhere but Chesapeake. Like once every blue moon, you hear Chesapeake.
Yes. But here's something else. Here's something else. And on a lighter side, in regards to this situation, can we stop acting like if you weren't listening to the music before this person died, don't act like their music was hot. You need to stop.
Look, but you're gonna get that. Like
I'm just
the Last Rocket is like is probably the #1 album on iTunes right now.
Who?
His single album.
Right now?
He dropped the single album 2 or 3 years ago called The Last Rocket, which was the best album. All 3 of the Migos dropped in that singles album. His was the best, which you've heard a lot of people say that he was bar for bar the best Migos, and I'm gonna tell you right now he was.
I don't know, maybe.
Here's the thing. I know what you're gonna say.
But I'm about
he wasn't trying.
He wasn't trying. You said
he wasn't trying. He was just having fun.
What? All right. What I'm about to say may sound whatever, but is it bad if I say this? save for like one song, maybe two, them as a whole were always kind of mid to me.
They weren't everybody's cup of tea. I'll give you that.
I don't think they were mine. Save for
a few of their songs here and there, but I was never.
There are only two. Actually, three. There's only three. There's actually three. Three songs I actually remember that I was like, okay, this is pretty good. That's Versace, Stir Fry, and Bad and Bougie. That's it.
Nah, bro, they had some other bangers. There's my jump from like a whole year.
Yeah, not to me.
Yeah,
to me, other than those three songs, they were just they were mid to me. I'm sorry. Y'all can come at me in the mentions all you want to. I don't care. Sorry.
They had some really dope songs, but they weren't really. They just be the lyrical type dudes. They were hype songs, and they for where I was when they were hot, it did the job.
Oh, Fight Night too. That was
Fight Night was a.
That was good. I actually like that song. That's good. I actually think about that song sometimes. It was like, is that really a song? I was like, yes, it was.
Yes.
I also remember when I used to think they were all one person.
The mama chicken looking at me. Mama. Now that ad-libs are also great too. When I hit ad-libs, I always think of me as Mama. But yeah, it's just hilarious. It's just amazing to think of what he could have done if he really wanted to put his energy into really trying.
Sliding it like a wet flow. Already fried from the get-go. Alligators look like gecko. Everything I do